Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's session of Srimad Bhagavatam for all. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. One second. Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 9, text 24. Anyone needs to go first, or can we just go in order? We'll go in order. Achit Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, and Jai Sri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Glories to the Krishna. Aham hi sarvayajnanam bhukta cha prabhur cha na tu mam abhijananti tatvena tasyavanti te. Translation by Dasi Srila Prabhupada. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Achintadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat, Prabhuji. Aham hi sarva yajnanam
Aham hi sarva yajnanam
bhokta cha prabhureva cha
bhokta cha prabhureva cha
natu mam abhijananti
natu mam abhijananti
tatve nataschavantite.
tatvena taschavantite. Translation: I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Aham hi sarvam yajnanam bhukta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti
Tatve nataschavantite.
I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatve nataschavantite. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena taschavantite. Translation: I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Thank you, Mataji. May I still not hear, Mataji.
No problem. Isha.
I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
Yes. Okay. I'll also recite Bhagavad Gita 9:24. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. Natu mam abhijananti tatve nataschavantite. Yes. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Okay. So let's do Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, Madhava. Okay, go ahead.
Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhakta prabhureva cha natumam abhijananti tatvena tasyavantite. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
Yes. Kalpesh Prabhu, can you recite? Still connecting? You're connected. Kalpesh Prabhu, you can recite the verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Humble obeisance. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natum mam abhijananti
Jananti Prabhuji. Abhijananti.
abhijananti tattva venatas chavantite.
Tatve natas chavantite.
Tatvainatas Chavantite.
Hmm.
Translation: I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature falls down. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Priyanka Mataji. Not ready.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my
I
humble.
don't know why I try to keep on unmuting it and it takes time to unmute myself.
Okay.
Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurev cha natu mam abhijananti tatve natascha vantite. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Thank you, Mataji.
Anyone else? Everyone has recited. So let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 20. We are reading about Bali Maharaj's, how Bali Maharaj is going to give everything to Vamandev. So the title of this chapter is Maharaj Bali surrenders the universe. Maharaj Bali surrenders the universe. So when Shukracharya told Bali Maharaj not to give everything to Vamandev, and there's no fault, even if you went back on your promise, because if you kept this promise, you're going to jeopardize your livelihood, and then you won't be able to do any religious principles, you won't be able to get any sense gratification, no opulence, family members won't be satisfied. So this is not the right thing to do. So after this, Bali Maharaj contemplated and deliberated on everything that Shukracharya said, and in the purport we understand he actually immediately came to the conclusion that my spiritual master is telling me to go against surrendering everything to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I should reject my spiritual master, like that. So, after coming to this conclusion, now he's speaking to his guru. What did he say? That whatever you have said is correct. What did you say? You said that we should not adopt that religious principle which affects, all these things, the 5 different things. Your other religious principles, your opulence, your sense gratification, your reputation, and the satisfaction of family members, anything which is affecting this, you should not take to such a religious principle. I actually agree with you. I actually agree with you, like that. In what sense? He said he'll agree with him. He's agreeing with him because for a pure devotee, what is the highest religious principle? To do whatever pleases the Supreme Lord, to do everything that is within my capacity to please the Supreme Lord. In fact, to do only that which pleases the Lord. Anything other than that, I don't have any interest in doing. Right? My every endeavor, this is the consciousness of a pure devotee. My every endeavor, how do we do our endeavor? With our senses, with our speech, and also with our mind. So whatever activity I may do with my body, with my speech, or with my mind, that will only be meant for satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the consciousness of a pure devotee. So now the Supreme Lord himself is coming and asking me to give my wealth. Why not? I should give. And anything which is an obstacle to this principle, I should reject that. So my spiritual master is obstructing me from doing this. I should reject my spiritual master. So that is what he meant. And then in yesterday's verse we were reading, I am the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. What type of a devotee is Prahlad Maharaj? He is a pure devotee, right? In spite of his fathers torturing him in so many ways, Prahlad Maharaj never deviated from his religious principle. What was his religious principle? Always remembering the Supreme Lord under all circumstances. He didn't give up his bhakti. Although the father threatened him in so many ways, he never gave up his principle, religious principle of pure unalloyed devotional service. And I am the grandson of such a great devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Then just for the sake of greediness for some wealth, I should go back on my religious principle. What is that religious principle in this particular case? Giving charity. Giving charity to whom? to a Brahmana. You want me to become a cheater just because of greed for some wealth? How can I do that? Especially because I have a connection with Prahlad Maharaj. So in this context, in the purport we read yesterday, that Prahlad Maharaj gave his kripa, his mercy to Bali Maharaj. So that is the connection here. Why Prahlad Maharaj's name is given, why he is connecting himself with Prahlad Maharaj, not just on the basis of lineage. If that is the connection, then even Virochana should have been a great devotee, isn't it? Because he is the direct son of Prahlad Maharaj. But really, it is about the mercy that comes. And Prahlad Maharaj gave that mercy to Bali Maharaj. Therefore, in spite of being, and similarly, Prahlad Maharaj himself got mercy. From whom? Prahlad Maharaj got mercy from whom? Who did Prahlad Maharaj get mercy from?
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni, correct. So Prahlad,
Narad Muni.
yes, Prahlad Maharaj got mercy from Narad Muni. Otherwise, being in a Daitya family, always in the modes of passion and ignorance, how can somebody get pure unalloyed devotional service? Only when some great Vaishnava shows kripa. So Prahlad Maharaj got kripa from Narad Muni, he became a great devotee. And now Bali Maharaj, also being born in a Daitya family, he is also a great devotee. How? Because of getting kripa from Prahlad Maharaj. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is highlighting on kripa siddha devotees. They may not have any other qualification. So three types of devotees are there: sadhana siddha, kripa siddha, and of course nitya siddha devotees are there. Specifically, when we are talking about baddha jivas, conditioned souls, you have two types who can get perfection. One is kripa siddha, one is sadhana siddha. So sadhana siddha means you have to fulfill all the conditions of sadhana bhakti. Then by that you get perfection. Of course, even sadhana bhakti you can only begin when you get kripa. You cannot just start sadhana on your own and no. Even the fact that you started sadhana, and understand when you say sadhana, sadhana bhakti means that's the beginning of ananya bhakti. 24/7 you're doing devotional service. That is sadhana bhakti. To enter into that, you certainly need the mercy. Adav Shraddha. Adav means the beginning, right? First you get association of a devotee who tells you about Krishna consciousness, and then you develop your Shraddha, and after Shraddha, then you enter into your devotional service. So, Kripa is essential, but sometimes, even though you may not fulfill all the conditions of sadhana, simply by dint of Kripa, you can get perfection. They're called Kripa Siddha Bhaktas. So, Bali Maharaj is an example of Kripa Siddha Bhakta. The Yagyapatnis are examples of Kripa Siddha Bhaktas. Sukadev Goswami is also given as an example of Kripa Siddha Bhakta. I'll quickly go over the purport yesterday. I hope we covered all the points. So, the Yagyapatni, examples of such devotees, Kripa Siddha devotees are Yagyapatnis, Maharaj Bali, Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami got the Kripa of whom? He got the Kripa of? Whose Kripa did Sukadev Goswami get?
Yes, there.
Yasdev, like that. Okay, so now we will continue with the next verse. Okay, text 4. So is it Inbania's turn today? I think Arunita and Aditilata Mataji read yesterday, correct?
Yes, Mataji, they just finished yesterday.
Okay, so Inba and Inya are here. So Isha, you're able to read? No? Krishna Shish Madhava Rasapriya. Nahya satyat paro dharma iti hovacha bhuriyam sarvam sodhum alam manye rite lika param naram. Yeah, Madhava, go ahead.
There is nothing more sinful than untrue things. Because this, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except a person who is a lion.
Yeah, this is a very profound statement. The Bali Maharaj. So this famous statement, it comes from Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Bali Maharaj is quoting Mother Earth. There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. And we take it so cheaply to say untruth for no reason, isn't it? For no benefit, sometimes in joking, sometimes for no reason. But actually, untruthfulness is very sinful. There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Actually, your speech becomes contaminated. It will not have that effect if you are untruthful. If you are accustomed to saying lies all the time, then your words will not have that potency. They will not be able to touch the other person's heart if you are telling lies all the time. So because it contaminates, it pollutes your speech. So the only exception would be if the Lord is asking you to do, or, so like exceptional circumstances. Of course, it's not that we are attached. Even if we are attached to being truthful, the purpose of being attached to truthfulness is because this is dharma, and dharma is coming from the Supreme Lord. The connection is still with the Supreme Lord, not just because I have to be truthful. Because, see, materially also, one thing is, you see, when we practice devotional service, this is actually a principle. By practicing devotional, you have Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari means neophyte devotees. Madhyama Adhikaris are actually more advanced. So, someone who is trying to develop all these good qualities. What are good qualities? I should not lie, and I should be charitable, feeding the poor, or what else? What are all the good qualities in this world? Giving education to people, or being kind, respectful to the older people, like that, so on and so forth. Being obedient to elders, to parents, so on and so forth. Many good qualities are there. There's actually a list of qualities given. So somebody may try to develop these qualities by cultivating the mode of goodness. Okay, and then you consider this person is great because he has all these good qualities. But someone who has all these good qualities, who has cultivated these good qualities, and he's also practicing sadhana, he's also chanting Hare Krishna. That's one category of person. There's another person who has surrendered his life to Krishna 24/7. He's only doing direct devotional service. So the first category is he is also doing some devotional service, and also he's doing some other activities, right? He's doing some karma and all that, and he's cultivating good qualities from the modes of material nature, from the mode of goodness. From the mode of goodness, he's cultivating. He's endeavoring to cultivate good qualities, and he's also practicing some devotional service. Whereas there's another person who has not cultivated any of these qualities. He does not have these qualities in him, and he is 24 hours engaged in devotional service, or he's endeavoring to do, he's surrendered to Krishna, he's only trying to do devotional service, but he doesn't have these qualities, right? Someone who doesn't get angry, that's a good quality, right? Like that. Who is better?
The second person, because he's Ananya Bhakta.
Yes, the second person is better because he's Ananya Bhakta. Even though you don't see these qualities in that person, but his determination is he should do only devotional service, and is constantly endeavoring for those devotional service. He's superior to the first one. He is actually a Madhyama Bhakta. He's a Madhyama Bhakta. Kanishta Bhakta, he does some devotional service, and he also has these, he tries to get these qualities. So therefore, when we see devotees, we should not judge based on their qualities, material qualities, that this is a better devotee because this person is also chanting, that person is also chanting, and this person has qualities, right? He's kind, and he's, he doesn't get angry and all that. He's humble, also humble. So this is a better devotee. You cannot judge like that. What is the criterion to decide who is a superior devotee? Tell me, what is the criterion? What is the criterion to decide who is a superior devotee?
He's continuously engaged in devotional service.
Okay. When does one continuously engage in devotional service?
Strong faith.
Strong faith. So what is the symptom of strong faith? When one has a strong faith, what is that symptom?
Surrender to Krishna.
Surrender, Sharanagati. Surrender to Krishna. So how do you judge who's a superior devotee? From his surrender to Krishna. How much a person has surrendered to Krishna? What do you mean by surrender? What do you mean by surrender?
Thinking of him always and believing in what is being told in Shastras.
Correct.
And,
and
following it.
Following
and practicing it.
Yes. So how does that reflect? So you believe in that and you're surrendered. Okay. So what is the consciousness of this person? So now he's believing in the Shastra, he got faith, and
For
you're saying,
everything he sees the hand of God.
That's the point. He's completely dependent on the Lord. Dependent. Whether anything good is happening, bad is happening from material perspective, he simply depends on the Lord. He depends on the Lord completely. That is based on that you can decide who is a superior devotee. One who is 100% dependent on the Lord, not dependent on anything else, any material course of action or anything else or anyone else. He's simply dependent on the Lord and he accepts, like Prabhuji said, he accepts whatever comes, he's simply accepting as coming from the Lord, seeing the hand of the Lord in everything, as Mataji said. That is the sign of a devotee. Now, does that mean that a pure devotee will not have good qualities? No, it doesn't mean that. The next level, Uttama Adhikari, by dint of his devotional service, by dint of his surrender and dependence on the Lord, that bhakti will give him all these good qualities which were earlier mentioned, which one Kanishta Adhikari may be endeavoring to cultivate those qualities by practicing or whatever. Those qualities will manifest in the person, a devotee, simply by practicing devotional service. Therefore, when you get full Shraddha, you will simply try to do devotional service. You won't try for anything else. You won't try for anything else. We won't practice any yoga. We won't do anything. We will simply try 24/7. We'll be endeavoring to please Krishna. That is Madhyama Bhakta. By doing that, the result is all these good qualities will find their way in this person. And that is Uttama Bhakta. So there are two ways in which you can get good qualities. One way is you are getting by practicing devotional service, they are coming in you. The other way is you are cultivating those good qualities in the mode of goodness. The qualities which are cultivated by the mode of goodness, they are material. Even though they may look good and nice and everything, like, generally they teach in other faiths also, be kind to your neighbor, be respectful when you're standing in a line, let the others, don't push yourself forward, so on and so forth. There are very nice moral principles are there. But these are all material qualities. But when these qualities come, because of devotional service, they are not material qualities, they are transcendental qualities. Okay, so I just wanted to make a note there on that. So going back to our verse now, there is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. So here we are talking about being truthful. So being truthful can be a material quality also, where someone is trying to be truthful because it is nice, it is good from the mode of goodness. But is that a transcendental quality? Are we being truthful because it's a good, nice quality? No. Truthfulness will manifest. That means a devotee, an Uttama Bhakta, cannot be a liar. He cannot be. Why? Because of his devotional service. All these good qualities will be there in a Uttama Bhakta because of his bhakti. That was the point. This is not directly in relation to this verse. Whenever I find something, some word or some point that comes in our discussion, I just take that opportunity to explain that concept either from Bhakti Sandarbha or from some other, maybe from Bhagavad Gita. When that concept comes, I just try to make that point. It may not directly be relevant to this verse. Okay. All right. So this is nothing more. Okay. There is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. Because of this, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except a person who is a liar. Who is speaking? Who's saying this now?
Bali Maharaj.
Yes. Bali Maharaj is telling Shukracharya. Now the next point he's saying is, there's nothing more sinful than being untruthful. Okay. Who's going to read next? Krishna Shish? Purport.
On the surface of the earth, there are many great mountains and oceans that are very heavy, and Mother Earth has no difficulty carrying them. But she feels very much overburdened when she carries even one person who is a liar. It is said that in Kali Yuga, lying is a common affair. Mayaiva
Vyavaharike.
vyavaharike. Even in the most common dealings, people are accustomed to speaking so many lies. No one is free from the sinful reactions of speaking lies. Under the circumstances, one can just imagine how this has overburdened the earth, and indeed the entire universe.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So the earth cannot bear the burden of one liar. And what is the weight that the earth is bearing? The earth is bearing everything. The mountains, big, big mountains, and so many people, so many animals, so many trees. She's bearing the weight, but she doesn't consider that a heavy burden at all. It's a burden of love for the earth, just like a mother is holding the baby in her lap. Is it a burden for the mother? No, she loves the baby, even though the baby may be heavy at times, but still she likes to keep, because it's a burden of love. So she doesn't feel it as a burden at all. So similarly, the earth also bears all this weight of all of us, no problem. But bearing the weight of one liar is unbearable for her. She cannot bear the weight of one untruthful person. So Prabhupada is saying, can you imagine how many people are untruthful today? For no reason, telling lies. How much suffering, how much pain Mother Earth is experiencing because of all the lies spoken by so many people. If she cannot bear one liar, how many liars are there in Kali Yuga? Okay. Yes, Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, I just wanted to share that when in Kali Yuga, this bull, this thing was there, no? It was standing on one leg.
Correct.
3 legs. So one of them is honesty. It's still existent because it's the beginning of Kali Yuga. Slowly, it's going to be deteriorated so much that then Kalki will have to come and destroy.
Yes, Mataji. Actually, it was already started. It's not like it was existing on one leg, and even that leg was being beaten by Kali. This is at the time of Parikshit Maharaj, and then the bull was shaking, because that means dharma was completely lost. Only truthfulness was barely present. But Parikshit Maharaj immediately punished that Kali and restored the bull to its normal health. So both points are there. The influence of Kali is there, because of which the religious principles, 3 of them are already lost and one is barely surviving. But in the presence of a devotee as a leader, if you have, even though Kali is present, Kali cannot touch. How? Srila Prabhupada explains there that the leader is so expert, a Vaishnava is so expert, that even though he gave some spots for Kali to stay, he protected his citizens from touching those things. He didn't allow his citizens he protected them very carefully by giving them spiritual guidance. So even in Kali Yuga, if we take shelter of Krishna consciousness, if there is a leader who is a Vaishnava, then Kali cannot touch us. All the religious principles will be there: truthfulness, mercy, cleanliness, austerity. They will all be there intact. But the problem is, when we don't have such a leader to guide us properly on dharma, then Kali will become powerful. It is said, as soon as Krishna left this earth, immediately Kali started expanding, spreading its influence all over the earth. But then Parikshit Maharaj said, as long as this son of Abhimanyu is present, this Kali cannot do anything. Right? He challenged Kali. So we need such a great Kshatriya king, Rajarshi, who is a great Vaishnava and who is a king. Then Kali cannot touch us. But yes, in the absence of such a leader, then dharma is wobbling. And there also Srila Prabhupada says that without the help of administrative leader, that means Brahmanas and Kshatriyas should work together. Only then dharma can be protected. Brahmanas are there to advise. To actually enforce it, we need a Kshatriya. We need a Kshatriya to enforce it. The government, that's why it is said, Yad Yad Acharati Sreshtas. Tat Tat Evetaro Jana. The leader, who are the leaders for humanity? The Kshatriyas are the leaders. Brahmanas are the advisors. The leaders are Kshatriyas. So they have to work in cooperation. If there is no cooperation, if there is no Kshatriya to support, then you cannot bring the dharma is always shaking like that. And of course, if you have only Kshatriya and you don't have a Brahmana, then Kshatriyas are like arms, Brahmana is like a head. So without the head is the one that's giving all messages, what you should do, who should do what. But the head cannot itself go and protect. You need arms to do some work to protect. So we have to work together. So yeah, very nice point, Mataji, about truthfulness. I just remembered that sequence I was bringing up, the other points related to that. So again, this week, yesterday we went over time, but I'll have to end early. We did one shloka only today.
Yeah, Mataji, one more thing. Yesterday in the evening class in temple, Maharaj is there. He was saying Vyasdev was he was taking a bath in Ganges, and then he was coming up from the water after dipping, and he was saying Jai Kali, something like that. And then again he took another dip, and then he came up and he said Jai Sudras, and then he again took another dip, and then he was saying Jai for women. So then his disciples, they were asking that, why are you saying this thing? And then he said that it's because of this yuga, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, this particular Kali is also good, Kali Yuga, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave this Sankirtan movement. And then that is why Sudras, who are also the lower in the Varnashram system, they are also good. And the women also, who cannot participate in so many things and all, which is, in the lower level, they are also relieved. So everyone is going to be saved because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I just wanted to share in this.
Mami Partha Vyapashrityat Yepi Syu Papayonayaha Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Tepi Yanti Paramgatim. Even if somebody is a low born, like a Stri Shudra, what's the other one? Merchants, right? That means the Vaishyas or the low born, Dvija Bandhus. So even the low born, they can get the highest destination if they can surrender to me. So the problem is the low born, they don't generally surrender because they're in such utter ignorance. They are simply satisfied with material things. They don't surrender. But by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this particular Kaliga, even the low borns are able to surrender to the Lord and get the same destination as Mahabhagavatas, if only they can take to the process. And taking to the process is available to everyone. Nobody is barred. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry everyone didn't get a chance to read, but this week will go like this. Next week, again, we can start.
Evening we have class though, right?
Evening we will have, yes. Yesterday also we had. I forgot that there's a class in the temple yesterday, so we just started and I realized nobody was there. So I thought, oh, then I remembered Priyanka Mataji was there here. But then I thought, oh, today's Tuesday, there's a class at the temple.
No problem. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Mataji, so tomorrow India has to read, right? India Inba.
Yes.
Or
If you come early, because we are doing only one verse a day, if you come early, India Inba, you will read tomorrow, okay?
And this Isha has to read at the waves, right? If not, if they are
if not.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
You can just send a message.